Horizon Gents, welcome to Rex, and this is F-47 is the scariest fighter jet the US has ever built. But channel mega projects uncover. Is that the same mega projects as the mega projects? The big channel, right? Same guy who does the Warfronts one. Is that the same one or is this some different? I don't know. This is going to be an interesting one. F-47, yeah, F-22 is one of the scariest one ever. F-47 is supposed to be better than that. I don't even know what that looks like, right? This plane might be so good that this alone gives you an edge and a dominance over another military. At least that's how the specs looks. I mean, not just specs looks. The way F-22 is, yeah, they can pull off F-47. So let's watch this one.
7 fighter jet flying. Nothing in the world comes even close to it. It's virtually unseeable. That's what the president said, and the Air Force has even labeled it Stealth Plus Plus, world's fastest stealth fighter. So the question is, if the F-22 shows up on...
I don't like that Stealth Plus Plus shit, because it sounds like the streaming service thing, right? Like, oh, it's a streaming service pro. I don't like that. What is Stealth Plus Plus?
Enemy radar like a marble, then how small is the F-47? Some say less than a mosquito. That's a metaphor, of course, but it captures the scale of what the Air Force claims. For 5 years, this ghost aircraft has been flying quietly in test ranges, and only now the secrets are starting to emerge. In this video, I'll explain what Stealth Plus Plus actually means, how stealth has evolved from the F-117 to the F-35 and F-22, and how the F-47 pushes it further. We'll break down radar invisibility, infrared hiding, and even how brand new engines reduce a plane's heat signature.
F-47 is an interesting one because F-35 is really good when it comes to stealth, but it is detected by radars in not a specific way, but oh, it's their way. Like, you can specifically pinpoint where F-35 is, but you can detect it. Like, Iran can do it and other countries can do it as well. Is F-47 going to be so good that radar won't even be able to pick it up? Because there's that actual question out there. Like, it is impossible to not pick up a plane, doesn't matter how stealthy it is. That's what's being said out there. Like, you can't really pinpoint it, but you can pick it up. But maybe F-47's radar cross-section is so small that maybe radars won't even able to pick it up. That would make it too dangerous, I think.
We'll also explore why combining Mach 2 plus speed with deep stealth was once considered impossible, and how the F-47 may have solved it. And the
I mean, yeah, with afterburners, that would be impossible, but this doesn't use afterburner to achieve that speed.
Cost and controversy behind this mega project.
To understand Stealth Double Plus Plus, you first need the quick history of stealth. In the 1970s, DARPA's Have Blue experiments proved that aircraft could be designed to deflect radar waves instead of reflecting them. This became the F-117 Nighthawk, the first operational stealth jet. The F-22 Raptor then refined the idea, adding aerodynamic performance to stealth. The Raptor's radar cross-section, or RCS, is often described as appearing the size of a marble on radar. The F-35 Lightning took the stealth playbook further by integrating advanced sensors and electronic warfare, though its RCS is generally thought to be slightly larger than the F-22's. Now comes the F-47. On an official Air Force graphic, it's labeled Stealth Plus Plus. That doesn't mean they've released its radar signature. Those numbers remain classified. What it does mean is that the Air Force considers it a new category of low observability, beyond both the Raptor and the Lightning. Think of stealth as coins on a table. If the F-35...
You know that... wait a minute. Oh, there you go. You know that that radar attack thing that usually confuses a radar, making it think there are multiple planes there when it's not? I feel like F-47 could employ some similar technology. Now, why would that work for stealth? Okay, stealth is all about on radar. If radar picks it up, your stealth isn't that good. Okay, so F-22 and F-35 can't be picked up on radar specifically. I mean, you know where it is, like those big high-intensity radars can pick up in general area where the plane is. You can pinpoint it. Okay, F-47 might have that technology where even if you can generally know it, it will give you ghost signature. So you really don't know it, right? Like, it will confuse the radar. That might be one of the technology they might be using, because that's what plus would be, I'm guessing.
F-5 is a quarter, and the F-22 a marble. The F-47 belongs in an even smaller box. one the Air Force simply calls Stealth++. But stealth isn't just radar. To be truly invisible, a jet has to manage 3 major signatures: radar reflection, infrared heat, and electronic emissions. Radar stealth comes from shaping, like carefully angled mirrors that deflect radar beams away, and from materials that soak up energy. That's why modern stealth jets have sharp edges aligned at specific angles, serpentine inlets that hide the engine fan, and internal weapon bays instead of external pylons. Infrared stealth is harder. Even if radar can't see you, the heat of your exhaust and skin can. Sensors detect this glow easily. And then there's emissions control. A fighter broadcasting on radar gives itself...
It's insane that Northrop did better job with B2 when it comes to heat diffusion, right? That technology was insane. I don't think F-35 has that technology because it's made by Lockheed and not Northrop, and I think it's not easier to do for the small jets like that. But B2 was a different thing. So yeah, B-21 is going to be even more insane.
Away. So modern stealth jets use low probability of intercept radars and fuse data from many sensors to minimize their own emissions. Here's the paradox. Stealth and speed usually don't go together. Why? Because going faster than Mach 2, that's over 1,500 miles per hour, generates enormous heat. That heat lights up infrared detectors like a flare, undoing all your careful radar stealth. So historically, engineers faced a brutal choice: build for speed or build for stealth. The F-47 is America's attempt to solve both. The secret lies in its engines: Next Generation Adaptive Propulsion, or NGAP. These new engines, like Pratt & Whitney's XA103 and GE's XA102, are 3-stream adaptive cycle designs. That means they can literally reconfigure airflow in flight. In high-thrust mode, they act like a turbojet, pouring power into the core for supersonic speed. In cruise mode, they open a third bypass stream, routing cooler air around the core, improving fuel efficiency and cooling the jet at the same time. Think of it as an engine with 3 gears instead of 2.
Yeah, I think the more better way of looking at it is having 3 different type of engine in one. Because for years, everything had pros and cons. Why use this type of thing? Oh, okay, this is good for this, but not for the other one. Why use that one? It's good for this, not for the other. There's always a compromise. So adaptive basically removes all that. USA has been looking for one shoe fit all type of things, right? That's what they try to do with F-35. And that's where they're going, create a technology that adapts on the go. So we can use in either way. It's very efficient and slow cruising as well, but also at high speed and adaptive, right? So you can change things.
That extra bypass stream works like a built-in heat sink, reducing exhaust temperature, hiding the jet from heat-seeking missiles, and giving it longer legs without guzzling fuel. Industry claims these adaptive engines are up to 25% more fuel efficient than today's F-35 engines.
And more importantly, they provide much better thermal management. That's how the F-47 can chase Mach 2 Plus while still cutting its infrared signature. Not perfectly invisible, but a much harder target to lock onto. Now let's talk about shape. The F-47 is tailless, no vertical stabilizers at all. Why? Because vertical tails reflect radar from the sides, dramatically increasing signature. By eliminating them, designers reduce radar return from multiple angles. Instead, the F-47 uses a diamond-like, blended wing body profile. Think of a manta ray, smooth and wide, deflecting radar waves upward or downward instead of back at the source. This idea isn't brand new. Boeing's bird of prey demonstrator in the late 1990s already proved that tailless stealth aircraft could slash radar signatures by orders of magnitude. The F-47 is the mature form of that concept, scaled up and adapted for real combat.
But back then the issue was if you used that, you didn't have maneuverability of a vertical wings, right? Because the pistons and the hydraulics that that's supposed to control those were not strong enough to maneuver fast. That's not the case probably anymore because of the modern material science and engineering. Things might be much more robust. Modern engineering past 10-15 years, things change in a way that you can miniaturize with the same effect. If something big worked, now 1/10 of the size of thing would work similarly with similar strength because of material science. So now they might have created some kind of hydraulics that's strong enough to handle pressure without breaking, so maneuver fast enough. So you don't need vertical wings.
Stealth++ doesn't just mean radar. It means reducing visibility across the electromagnetic spectrum. Infrared, for instance. Modern detectors can pick up even faint heat glows. The adaptive cycle engines help hide exhaust heat, but engineers go further. The F-47's exhaust nozzles are carefully shielded, possibly using slit-shaped outlets and advanced cooling methods to mix hot gases with cooler air before they leave the aircraft. The result? A reduced infrared plume that makes heat-seeking missiles far less effective. Not true invisibility, but a moving target that appears much dimmer than anything flying today. Stealth++ also covers the invisible war of sensors. The F-35 was famous for fusing radar, infrared, and electronic data into a single 360-degree picture. The F-47 takes that logic further. There are credible hints that the entire skin of the aircraft may act as a destruer sensor, sometimes called a smart skin. Instead of one big nose radar dish, hundreds of embedded arrays could cover the fuselage, turning the whole jet into a giant, flexible eye.
This would mean fewer external protrusions, fewer seams to bounce radar, and a level of situational awareness far beyond even the Raptor. But stealth isn't just about the jet itself. The F-47 is designed as the
Wait a minute, is that confirmed? Or is he guessing here? Because if that's confirmed, holy shit, man. Alright, talking about modern advanced technology, that shit is a big jump, I think. In my opinion, that's a big jump if that's real.
quarterback for a team of drones called Collaborative Combat Aircraft, or CCA. The plan is around 1,000 CCAs supporting fewer than 200 F-47s. Each drone can extend sensors, carry weapons, or act as decoys. Together, they magnify the ghost effect. On radar, an enemy might see an entire squadron, but not know which aircraft are human-piloted and which are expendable drones. This swarm capability makes the F-47 more than a stealth jet. It makes it the silent commander of an invisible fleet. But ghost technology isn't cheap.
Yeah, mothership level shit, right? I think they're trying to integrate F-47, B-21, F-35 Block 4 and all of them in like one type system. So if, which is a big if, because why would you use all of them together? But if you had to use B-21, F-47 and F-35 together with drones, that is basically like a aircraft carrier in ocean. Aircraft carrier, like Iwo Jima type ship, what was it, like amphibious ship, destroyers, basically 10 ship armada. Usually that's how things work on ocean. Similar thing in air. They're trying to make that. And look at how dominance US can project when it comes to sea. They will be able to do similar thing in air. Air was always, used as something like, okay, we have some weapons, and by skirmish attacks and destroying things, we can achieve air dominance. What if we can achieve air dominance just by our presence alone, like how aircraft carrier do in ocean? That's what America is trying to do here.
Each F-47 is expected to cost nearly $300 million, making it the most expensive fighter jet in history. So here's what I want to ask you. If America really has a jet that's...
Wait a minute, is it? How much F-22 costed when it was early times, right? Same thing with Nighthawk, adjusted for inflation. Because I'm pretty sure F-47 is supposed to be cheaper, slightly budgeted compared to everything else, at least eventually, right? So maybe at the start it will cost 300 million, maybe. But eventually cost will go down.
Visible to radar and infrared. How would you stop it? Could any country defend against that? Would an invisible jet make you feel safer? Or does it make the world even more dangerous? Will it start a new stealth race? And if full spec...
Both, I think. Stealth plane, this is basically science debate in general. Is science good or bad? Science is science. Whether you do it or not, somebody else will do it. So is stealth plane more dangerous? Yeah, it is. If you can do it, eventually somebody else will. Same thing applies to you. But if you don't, somebody will do it anyway. Science doesn't stop. So it's science. You have the edge, enjoy it. You are the superiority, enjoy it, right? Maybe when somebody else catch up, you'll do something else.
Spectrum invisibility becomes real. Radar, heat, even satellites. Should America use it first or keep it secret forever? Think about it. What happens when no one knows who's in the sky above them? I want to know your answer. Tell me in the comments, because this is a conversation every American...
I think it's impossible to hide a plane. It will be detected, but it won't be targeted. That's the difference. So you can't really hide in the sky. It will be detected by some kind of a system, like something's there. But the point here is, can you target it? Can you pinpoint it?
needs to have. And if this video gave you a new way of looking at stealth technology, then do me one favor. Share it with one friend who loves defense, tech.
Yeah, this is a new channel apparently, less than 20,000 subscribers. So yeah, go to original video page link from there, support this channel. Yeah, this was a good video. I like the, like basically bullet points of how F-47 is going to work. I love how this entire skin is like, yeah, that shit is next level. I didn't know that was a thing. I think that we'll learn about F-47 more and more and it'll be mind blown. The thing about F-47 is they're trying to make it modular. So it's not a one thing. If F-47 is developed and created, new technology comes, they'll just integrate it. Before you know it, it's like iPhone. Newer and newer iPhone comes, newer and newer F-47 will come, right? The F-47 that's created in 2030 will be very different than F-47 created in 2034. Shit like that. But yeah. Rebel, if you like my channel, subscribe and I'll see you next time.